Hello everyone, welcome to SoapUI live training, and today we'll talk about SoapUI properties. So first we should ask what is the properties. Okay, so in SoapUI properties are something uh, at each level like project or test suite, test case. We can see a lot of values related to that particular level, right? So those things are we say these are properties for this particular level, like test label, what are the different properties, okay, and the test case label, what are the different properties. So different information it has, okay, you can see there. So in other term, you can say properties are variables, okay. So let me uh, open SoapUI, okay, tool. And in the last session, we were working on the project called Medicare Supplier, right? And we have seen how we can uh, do different things here, like creating test suite, test cases, test steps, and we also uh, added some assertions, right, team? So we have seen how to uh, assert. Like here, we can see we have added a lot of assertions there manually. All right. Today we'll talk about mostly properties because these are also very important, you can say. So if you see here, if I click on this project level, I can see, let me highlight this. So these are the properties related to my project, okay, related to project Medicare supplier. So I can see here are different things. Name is product Medicare supplier, description, okay, file where I have saved this project, okay, and other information. In the same manner, uh, if we go to you can say test suite level, you can see some property name, test suite properties, okay. If we go to test case, you can see some test case properties here, okay, in test properties windows. In the same manner, for the test request also you can see properties, right? SoapUI also provide us option to create custom properties. These are some properties you get when you add any project, you when you add any wizard, right? So these are some properties uh, related to that particular wizard, particular web service, okay, like name, endpoint, and message size, encoding. All these are coming from that so service, okay, that wizard. All these information are there, and when we imported these properties, we got, right? But what we have to do when we have to parameterize something, right? Here, this is a not good approach that you give some hard coded values like California. If I give here, so this is a hard coded value, and uh, if I have to test this web service for different cities, so I have to go manually and change here, right? Like California, I can give New York, or other city I can give here, but that is manually, and that is not a very good approach in practical scenario. So what we have to do, we have to we this term is parameterize. We can parameterize our test request, we can parameterize uh, so different label we can parameterize these things, right? So let us see. If we go to test case label, right, Besides this test case properties, you can see custom properties. Okay, so what are these custom properties? I can go here and I can create some variables. Okay, I can create my variables, what I want, and I can assign some values to it, right? And the same variable I can use here, where I'm using California right now. I can use that those user defined properties. So this way, this is the process which we call parameterization of your test cases or test step, anything, right? Any question on this, team? Do you have any question? Okay. So at each level, this was the test case. We saw custom properties. Even on test suite level, we can also uh, define some custom properties. So depending on the how you want to approach, you can define properties in SoapUI. So suppose something related to project, okay? Uh, so you can define at very high level property that was required, like you can say some property like uh, some URL or something environment related, uh, some environment related properties. If you want to define, you can define at project level. Okay, at this level you can go here and you can create. Test suite level, you can create some properties which is because test suite will have different services, okay, different test cases. Like each test case has one service, right? This get supplier by city has a get supplier by city test request in the same manner. So anything related to these test cases, and if you want to parameterize this, I can have in test suite. So in the same manner, you can define custom properties at your desired level, all right? But we have to think where it will, if you are parameterize something, where it will be the best. So it will be less effort in maintenance when we proceed. It will be lesser maintenance required. Okay. Uh, Let me see. One question is here. Do we need to write separate test case for SOAP UI? Sayed, I am not sure what is your question. For SOAP UI, SOAP UI is a tool, right? So I'm not sure what is your question. So if you can write some more information here, because SOAP UI is a tool. Okay, so I'm not sure what is the test case you want to write on SOAP UI. You can write test cases on different requests, all right? So like here we are giving some city name in get supplier by city. So on for this request you can write different test cases, right? Like so I will say I will parameterize this, okay, with different data sets. If I want to send some city name to get the supplier details, I will parameterize this and I will give different values in it. All right. So Sayed, if you can write some it more clear what you want, I can answer that question. Okay. So we were talking about so at which level we can define properties and how we can parameterize, right? Uh, so let us start with first we'll start at uh, here at the very high level. So if you go to file and preferences, you will see a lot of options available here. All right. And if you go to global properties, you can define some global properties, and you can utilize these properties throughout the projects. There will be no restriction that you can't use in any particular project. It will be available for each project in your SoapUI. Each uh, suite you can, any suite you can use, any test step you can use, whatever you defined here you can use. So let us start from here. I will, so what we provide here, okay. So as I said, at the product level, at very high level, if you want to define something related to environment and user credentials, so you can, those properties you can define here. So how we define? If you go to here, there will be a plus sign. If you mouse over on that, it says adds a property to the property list. Okay. So if I click this plus sign, uh, suppose anything, I just uh, test one. Currently, I just showing you how we can create properties at the very high level, global properties. So at name suggest, global properties will be available for each project in your workspace. So uh, some value I can say ABC, right? So now we have created this and we can utilize this at each level in our project. There will be no restriction. All right, I just show you. So we have to think about what properties we can add at this level. Okay, so we can use throughout our projects. All right. In the same manner, if you go to project, we can go to custom properties, and we can add some custom properties. Okay, so let me start from this project level, and I want to parameterize this city tag. Okay, so what we can do at project level at this time, I can say parameter uh, name is city. Okay, and let me write California. The value is California. Okay, so earlier we were hard coding here, but now we'll parameterize this. So what I will do, I will delete this. Okay, and if you right click here, go to get, in the last get data, you will see different labels. You can see global label. If you want to parameterize from the test global label properties what you have defined, you can just choose. Okay, and it will add. But currently we want to use from project level. So I have defined this city property and I can click. So see what this added here, team, right? This is saying it added $1 then curly braces, and then has property at which level we have defined that property at project level. All right, and then has city, the uh, property name, right? So we'll get the value of this property value. What the property value is currently California. So this way we can parameterize whatever we have defined at project level, right? Now, if I just run this, okay, we will get the same results, team. See, we got the same results if what we were getting earlier, right? So this way, I don't uh, need to every time go in request and change the city. I can go here and I can make it some other city, New York. I can say maybe like this. I don't know if it is correct or something. Okay, let me check. Yeah, see. So now I gave city name New York, right? And so see this much results I got of the supplier names. So team, this way we can parameterize our test request from the project level, right? Any question on this? Team, do you have any question on this? Okay, I don't see any question on this. So this way we can parameterize at the project level. Now, if I want to parameterize from this test suite level, okay, so let me, in the same manner, I can go to properties. I can click this plus sign, and it is test suite. So let me add this prefix ts city, okay, and what the value I'll give? I'll give California. All right. Now we have to add uh, properties from the test suite level. So team, we have to just either you can do this way. You can go, you can you can delete whatever earlier you have used. You can right click, you can go to get data, you can go to this suite level, test suite, and you can add property ts city. Okay, so what the difference you see here, it is just a difference. It is in place of project, it replaced with test suite. Okay, so see the format how it is using. Okay, if it is project label, test suite label, test case label, you can see dollar curly brackets and then hash, and then which label it is defined, project label, test suite label, or test case label, and then hash your property name. Okay, so if I send a request, if I run, I'll get all those response, right? All those suppliers in response. Let me see if you have any questions. Yes, there is a one question, how I can set multiple values. That's correct. But Sanath, this is actually where we get some limitations. Okay, so to overcome these limitations, we will see how Groovy script will help us here. Okay, currently um, we can only here one value or only one data set we can provide, right? But we will see how we can approach means resolve this limitation of SoapUI using Groovy script. So we have to wait for this, right? But in current session, I'm trying to tell you how we can parameterize. Okay, this will be true how we can how we are parameterizing. This will be true even in if we are parameterizing through Groovy script, right? So uh, multiple datasets we have to wait for how we can use Groovy script here, and we can parameterize. We have to write some program so that suppose I can save some data in Excel file or CSV file. So I have to read that suppose there are 10 cities, okay, 10 data sets. So I have to go in Excel sheet, I have to read each time each row, and I have to send request, then get the response again, go to next row. So we have to uh, utilize Groovy scripting uh, here. Okay, so but in SoapUI currently you can parameterize with only one data set. All right, I hope it is clear to you. All right, so we have seen at test suite level how we can parameterize, right? So in the same manner, we can go to test case level, and this we can see here also we have one tab called custom properties. At test case level, I can add and test case city. Okay, in the same manner, I can give New York. All right. So I have defined one custom properties at test case label. So what we have to change in this request is, in place of test suite, I can write test case. Okay. Even if you right click and go to get data and test case, okay, so you can see that property TC city. So if you want to add, it will add the same thing whatever we have changed, we just changed, right, test case. So you can delete any one of these. So either way is fine. Either you can write if you know the syntax, otherwise you can just right click here and you can go to get data and you can get that property from the desired label. So if I run this, I'll get this rails from the New York. Okay, why my these assertions got failed, team? XPath or XQuery match, all those got failed. Why? Can anybody tell me why these got failed? It failed because we have assertions for some value which you are retrieving from the California city. Okay, so uh, this is expecting some other um, maybe supplier name or something else, whatever we have added in assertions. So these assertion will expect that the same value will be returned, but in response we are getting some other values. That's why our assertions are failing. Okay. All right, so we have seen how we can define properties at project level, test suite level, test case level, and how we can utilize in request. And the same manner, team, if you want to use from global properties, then this it is not required. Okay, this we are writing this label, right, in every case, test case, test suite, project. But in if you are taking from the global level, then see what will be the difference. Okay, if I right click and go to get data and this global, we have defined one test property right there. So if I click, so see what is the difference. Only dollar curly brackets and test one. All right, so there is a little bit difference from the global properties to your project level and test suite level properties, right? In project level properties we have to use dollar curly brackets hash, then property name, sorry, label, which label you have defined, then hash your property name. But here it there will little bit difference. Okay, and we can see here it use only dollar curly brackets and property name if we are using from global properties, right? All right, so there is another way. Okay, we have seen at different level, but we haven't seen how we can do it at test step level, team. If you click to test step, we don't see any property. Okay, because test step can have different steps, right? So if you click on request, this gets supplier by city, you will see different properties, test request properties. But can we define some properties here? No, we cannot define directly. Okay, there is no options available. If you click here, there are no options available to add some properties here to parameterize our test request. Okay, so how we can do that in this case? If you want to parameterize at test step level, right? So here if you go to test step, right click, you will see the option add step. All right, you will see lot of options available here, but we'll see one by one. Will not I'm not going to tell you each and everything here. So if we go to properties, okay, so see what it says. Tooltip is defines loads global test case properties. Okay, So let me add this step team, and you can give name like test data. All right. So this step will supply data to our test request. I have added this. Okay. So if you see, this test data got added in our test step. If you double click here, it will open one window. It is a similar whatever we have seen in custom properties. So you can define, using clicking this plus sign, you can define your own properties. So if I let me give the name TD, okay, city, because we are getting from test data, right? Now I can give name here California, right? Any name you can provide. I'm just providing California. That's it. So if I close this, okay, if I minimize this, I can see test data is now showing 1. It means there is we have defined, okay, where it went. We have minimized this, right? Okay, let it. So we have defined one property here. Okay. Now, if we want to use in your test request, okay. So either you can right click here, go to get data, okay, and now you can see there will be uh, one thing you can see is step 2 added here. Earlier it was not here, but now you can see step 2 test data, okay, right? That whatever the test step name you gave, that name it is showing here. All right, and we have defined one property TD city. Okay, I can click that. So you can see here also there is one difference you can see here. Okay, here we are not using hash sign before the uh, that label name. Okay, earlier we have seen in test case test suite project there will be one hash sign before that desired label, but here there is some difference. So if you don't remember this syntax, don't worry, because SoapUI provide us, we can right click and get the uh, syntax, right? So you can see dollar curly brackets test data has TD city. Okay. Now this uh, parameterization will get the data from our test step. All right. It will not get from any other level like test case, test suite, or any other level, but it utilize whatever the you have added in test data. So if I run this, I'll get the same results. Okay. So team, till now we have seen how we can define custom properties, how we can parameterize our test request, okay, using all these labels. So do you have any question on this? Else we'll move and we'll see how we can create one of, there is one option team. If we go to, let me go to test suite level or any level you can go. I'm just going to test suite level. And if you see here, there is one uh, button is available. It says loads properties, loads property value from an external file. Okay, so I can define some one uh, in one file all these properties, and I can use here. I can load it from that file, and I can get it here in SoapUI. All right. So that is also a very good approach. Generally, in practical scenario, we define these kind of properties in files, and at we load whenever required. All right. So we'll see how we can. If you click this one, it asks load properties. So you can if you have defined, you can browse and you can add through file. All right. So I will show you for this test suite, and you can add it at any level, right? So let me open sorry uh, okay, let me ITeLearn. Okay, let me open this, and I can go to live trainings, SoapUI batch. So here what I can do, team, here I'm saving all those files, whatever the project we have created, it is here. All the information you can find on these files. Even you can if you have saved your project, you can get all those information here where you are saving in XML format. But here I will go and I will create one test uh, text file, notepad file. Okay, so let me give project name Medicare supplier. All right, and I can give what type of file it will be. It will be a file type of properties. So extension, what I can give, properties. Okay, it will ask. So now we can see, in place of .txt, I have renamed it as Medicare supply properties. Okay, you can give any extension, but this extension tell us that it is we are using for this file for the properties. Okay, I can double click it, and what I can say is I can define one variable here, city. Okay, and I can give name California. All right, so see how we can define. This is our property name, and this is property value. All right, so we have to give plus sign in between city, that parameter, your property name, then equal sign, and then that property value. Okay, if I save this, okay, so we have defined one properties file, we gave one uh, uh, parameter name there. So uh, if I go to this test suite level, okay, and let me delete this, whatever we have created at test suite level, I can delete using this remove button. Let me click this load, means this button which loads the file. I can browse that. Okay, so I can go to that particular folder where we have defined, and I can choose that particular file, Medicare supply properties, and I can click open. So if you just click OK, it will not create any property, it will not add any property. Okay, added updated zero property file from file. Why it is so? Because we have to choose one thing, team. Whenever you are loading from any external file, we have to check this checkbox, create missing properties. Okay, this is optional. You can check this, delete properties not in file. Means if you don't want to uh, any other file apart from this properties file, you can choose that delete properties not in a file. Suppose we have added at the custom level here. Okay, and if I want only to use that from the properties file, I can check this. Okay, I can check this delete properties not in a file, but this one is required, team. Always check this, create missing, otherwise it won't upload, or you can you don't see any properties to be added there. So let me click OK. Now it says added updated one properties from file. Okay, so whatever we have defined in that property in that external file, city California, we uploaded here. Okay, through this button which loads the property from external file. All right, now in the same manner I can rename this. What are the syntax, team? Can anybody tell me? It is test suite. Okay, and then uh, that property name. So here we have city. Okay, and if I run this, okay, I'll get the same results of that for that California state. All right, so suppose I go and change some value here, team. Okay, suppose I'll go here and change some value. So what do you think, team? Will SoapUI automatically upload here? So I don't think it won't upload automatically. Means if you change in external file, you have to always go here and load that file. Otherwise, you will see always California. If you run, you will get the results from the California. But in the file, what we have New York. So for that, each and every time you modify your properties file, you have to load here in SoapUI. All right, so again I have to go and I click OK. Now what I got New York. Now if I run, I will get all those suppliers from New York City. All right, team, let me know if you have any question on custom properties, what we are defining in SoapUI. You can define in external properties file, you can utilize here. So do you have any question, team, on these things? Okay, I don't see any question here. So what I will do is I will tell you also one very important thing here, that is we call property transfer. All right. So what is this property transfer, team? So property transfer, sometimes what happens, suppose we are getting some information here in response. All right, let me check if anyone has any question. I can see. Okay, I will tell this property transfer after taking this question. After getting the response, do we need to create any file for the results, or it will automatically create a file? A very good question, Syed. Yes, we need to, if you want to save this response to some files, to some external file, or you want to uh, get this response, we have to go and write something, some program or something the way we want, and you can save it somewhere. Okay, but automatically it does not save anywhere. Okay, it doesn't save anything. If you uh, run and close this soap UI, it will not save this response. So we have to uh, we have to get this response from here, and we have to put in some external file to analyze our results later. So we'll see, not here, but we'll see how we can get this response, how we can analyze, how we can put in any external file like text file, or if you want to put in Excel sheet, how you can do that. Okay, but we were talking about property transfer, very important, I can say. So please focus on this. So sometimes test cases are related to each other, team, right? So currently, uh, my this test supplier is taking some. suppose it's taking some city name, okay, while execution. And maybe this one, the last test step, which says get supplier by zip code. All right. So suppose I want that whatever the value I got from get supplier by city, I can use this zip code. Okay. I can use this zip code in my response, and using this zip code means this zip code. All right. And I can transfer this to this test case. Okay. Manually you can do, okay, you can you can go to each step. Okay, you can go to each step and you can uh, give any uh, value, like we are giving here California. Okay, right, we can hard code any value. Same manner you can go manually and you can add some zip code here and you can get the response. That is fine. But what happens if you require, there will be some scenario, a lot of scenario will be there in practical life, that test cases are related to each other. If some if you are getting something from one test case, so it may be needs to utilize as an input from the any other test case. Okay, do we have seen this, team? Anyone has seen this kind of test cases which depend to each other? All right. So output of this request will work as a input for this test case. Okay, how we can achieve this in SoapUI? All right. So we'll see how we can achieve this in this SoapUI. So if I go to um, one second, let me do here. Okay, so if we go here, if you expand this get supplier by zip code, and if you open this request, it says it asks for zip code. Okay, manually I can say any zip code, and if it is correct or something, we can get the response if you run this. But suppose I want whatever in response I get from this get supplier by city. Suppose this we want to use this 1011 zip code. Okay, but I don't want to manually add here in this request. All right, I don't want to manually go and add here this value. I want to utilize property transfer. Okay, so how we can do that, team? So let's see. Go to this test suite level. Okay, and create. We have already created this city. Okay, so let me make it blank. Okay, so we have created one test suite level parameter that is called city, and I can keep this value as blank. Okay, now go to this where we can go. One second, team. Okay, I can go to this add step. Okay, and I can see here property transfer. Okay, so I have to add this step property transfer from this test step. Okay, so what I can give name here is zip code property transfer, or just I can give zip code transfer. All right, so I have given this uh, step name as zip code transfer. All right, I can click OK, and if you maximize this, so you will get a window like this. Okay, now we can go to this plus sign on this zip code transfer, and it says add a new property transfer. Okay, I can specify what I want to transfer. I want to transfer zip code. Okay, you can give any name, team. What you want to provide, you can just add here. Now I have added this zip code. Okay, so by default the near test step will be shown here from in the source. Okay, so where you have added that property transfer, it will take that as a source of that request. All right, now from where we want to get that property, from this response, this get supplier by city response, we want to take that zip code. Okay, so if I click this property, I can see a lot of things: raw request, domain, password. But what I want from response. So I can choose that. So team, any question on this? In source, we choose from which request we want to take this property. Okay, so we have chosen this get supplier by city, and what from where what is the property we'll choose here? Response, because we want to get whatever the zip code is coming in response, I want to get that. All right, now we have to define some XPath here, team. We have to if I open this, I have to get this, I have to get this value. So here, that in earlier session we are talking about XPaths. Okay, right, do you remember? So we have to write one XPath to get this value. All right, so if I go to zip code, let me okay, it will be more clear to you. All right, so I want to get from this you can say tag, child tag zip plus 4. Okay, so we have to first define namespace like we have seen while using this XPath. So you can click here this NS sign which declares namespace. Okay, from this response. Okay, now I have to write one XPath to get that zip code. How we can write? We can give two forward slashes ns1, our namespace, this one, right, colon. And how we can, suppose I want to, there will be a lot of suppliers, team. Okay, but I want supplier of first supplier uh, zip code. Okay, so I can give supplier data, and from which supplier? The first supplier in my response. Okay, so I have to provide one in square brackets, then one forward slash ns one, and then this tag name, this child tag name where we are getting uh, zip code. So I can see uh, what is the name of that? Zip plus 4. That tag name I have to provide here. Okay, that's it. We can get the value from here. Okay, you can also write this way. You can use this XPath function text. It will provide. Uh, okay, so if you want to verify that we are getting the current correct value, just run this. Okay, you can it says missing target property. Okay, okay, we'll see. But let me make some yeah, this will be fine, I guess. So it says that thing is not visible here. All right, okay, let me maximize him. Okay, all right, so it is asking for the target where we want to send this property. We got that we have selected source, and from where we want to get that property. We got this from this response, this XPath. Okay, but where to send? To send this, I have to check. I have to check this. Uh, I have to select from this target. So where we have defined that property team, we have defined at test suite level, right? We have at test suite level we have defined one property. If you remember, if I go to test suite level, you can remember this. I have defined this test city and I kept this blank purposefully because from the response I want to take value here. Okay, I don't want to hard code. All right. So I can choose target is test suite where we have defined that property, and I can choose property whatever you have defined. See, only one property is available here. I can choose city, right? Keep everything by default, whatever the whatever is selected. And now if I run, see, now I got this value team. I got this value 10119 here. Okay. Here also in log also you can see earlier it was giving a missing target property. Now it says 10119. It means we are able to transfer property from one request to another request. Got it, team? So this is also very you can say very useful uh, a thing in SoapUI. This property transfer is very useful for us. So any question, team, on this? Do you have any question on property transfer? Okay, if you have, you can just put in chat. I can uh, answer those things. All right, so we are able to transfer. Now we have to utilize in this. Okay, in this another test case we have get supplier by zip code. So we have to utilize here whatever we have defined property at test suite level, because we are sending that what do you call that zip code to this at test suite level. So we can right click here and you can go to test suite. All right, and you can get this property. Can you see now? We have parameterized this test request as well. So now we can see if I go and run this at this level. Okay, at test suite level, if I run, so I'm not doing anything here get supplier by city. Okay, so don't worry about that. We are just focusing on these two test cases, get supplier by test case by city and by zip code. Okay, if I run this, okay, so why it is failed this get supplier by city? Because some assertions were failed, that's why it is showing a red mark here. But now our main focus is go to this get supplier by zip code and see the response. See, we have parameterized, we are getting from uh, whatever we are getting from the response, that zip code we have utilized here, and we are also able to uh, run this test. Okay, this test request. So what internally it is doing, team, first if you run at test suite level, it will run this request first. Get supplier by city, it will run this. Okay, then this whatever we have defined in this zip code transfer, it will transfer that particular property at this test suite level. Okay, and in this property. Okay, so we can get the particular zip code in this property, and same property we are using in our get supplier by zip code test request. So see how it is useful. Okay, so that's it for today, team. It was this session was based on properties, like how we can uh, create user defined properties that we call custom properties from the SoapUI, from the external file. And we have also seen a very important topic that is called property transfer. Okay, that's it for today, team. If you have any question, just let me know. Okay, I don't see any question here, team. So, okay, I got one question. If we set property in test label, test label, yeah, that is fine. That is fine. You can utilize that. It is it means I hope you are talking about a property transfer. So you can choose any desired label. Okay. Yes, we can transfer any other test case. That is correct. You can define another property transfer. Okay, you can utilize that. So this kind of some you can play around here. You can go. You can practice this thing. Okay, this need practice, team. Otherwise, you will forget. So whatever you want to transfer, you can just create and you can utilize that property transfer utility in SoapUI. All right, team. So this is for today, and I'm done with the session today. This was the free session, team. This was the also one demo session, and from the next session, if you want to attend, only paid members can attend from the next session. So if you want, you have to pay before the tomorrow session. So if you want, you can contact our sales team at learn@itlearn.com. All right. So thank you so much, team. Thank you so much for joining today, and we'll meet tomorrow and we'll discuss some other important topics. One question I got from Sarath: if we set property in test label, okay, can we transfer to another test case? Yes, we can transfer. We can transfer. Okay. Thank you so much, team. Thank you so much for joining. We'll meet on tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.